Hey everybody, Pierre Marquette 1223 here, back with another lamp update to show you what I got when I was down at my guys getting lantern stuff. You obviously just saw the Grand Rapids, Holland, and Chicago marker lamp that was used on the interurban cars. Well, now I have another very interesting and somewhat... I turned the light on, there's storm brewing outside, but it's been raining here for probably about the past hour or so. But what I have here today is a rare and desirable piece made by Dietz. Yes, we are going back to some of my roots here with YouTube videos, and this is a Dietz number 60 beacon lantern. This massive lantern stands in it probably almost or a little over 2 feet tall from the top of the loop down to the bottom of the reflector. And what these were used for, there was 2 models of this, the number 30, which is about half this size and takes a standard number 0 globe, and the number 60, which was not as common and takes a number 2 tubular globe. Now, if you go back a ways on my videos, almost a couple years, I actually owned a number 2 tubular globe at one point. So, it's almost, it's pretty cool to see one of these globes again. The number 2 tubular globes were standard in these. There was not, a special size. They're almost the size of a small street lamp. And what these things were used for, they were used in cabooses, and they were used to project lights off. Now, the number 30 was the more preferred version because it was a little bit smaller, more compact. The number 60, this thing's huge. It really, really, really is huge. I'm going to go over some of the features of this lamp. Obviously, as you can see, one of the most prevalent things on this lamp is it has this huge cone-shaped reflector here. At one point, somebody decided to do the stupid thing and paint it black. But the paint is starting to come off, and I'm exploring my options at how to take and remove that paint. But what this originally was it was polished steel, and that was used to obviously take and focus the light and amplify it away from the flame. In the back, you have a lead-coated reflector with a clear coating to help take and protect it and preserve it. You can get these reflectors still today, but they're not as good. They're a little bit cheaper. The lead reflectors obviously would take and focus the light out, and believe me, these things are very bright. This thing would be very, very bright when lit up. I'm going to take this thing apart here the best I can without hopefully breaking anything. The number 2 tubular globe, obviously, we've had these before. Hopefully I don't drop it. Number 2 tubular globe. Pretty big piece of glass. Dietz number 2, New York, USA. Obviously, as you can see, somebody went to town in this thing. It really does not weigh that much for as big as it is. It's being that it's all pressed steel and it's not very thick. This is your globe lift. It's this little lever right here. You just push up on it and it locks in place. If you want to take and lower it, you just take and push in and it slides back down. Your burner is actually a modified Pioneer burner, which was used in the Dietz number 3 and Dietz Pioneer street lamps. It takes a 1 1/4 inch wick, I believe. It's absolutely huge. I'll take and put the globe lift back down, and I'll crank the wick up just a tad. There's your wick. The wick is absolutely huge. It's definitely over 1 inch wide, like I said, and these things were meant to create light, and that's exactly what they did. Now you take and you look up here. I'll take and zoom in here just a little bit. I have to have the light on because it's so dark. Zoom in up here. It says Dietz number 60 beacon light, New York, USA. The lamp is in factory green paint, which was another reason why we got it. These things are usually beat to hell. They took a lot of use and abuse throughout their lives. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to take it, put it back. I might have to take and wash my globe after this. I'm very OCD when it comes to my globes being clean. There we go. I actually got that back in fairly well, I'd say. But I'm going to take and turn the lamp here. The lamp is in its original factory green paint, which is actually coming off to reveal very, very good shaped metal underneath. Obviously, as you can see too, there is a nice, you might be able to see, there's a nice black paint run here where the black paint was goobered on. But this is all original factory Dietz green. They were available in black, Dietz green, and unpainted polished metal. Usually these things are totally beat up. These reflectors are always dented. There's usually rust issues down here where moisture could build up. This is your tank, by the way. This is a pretty big tank. The lamp sits up on a little bit of a prop right here and these wedge-shaped pieces of metal. It is a cold blast lamp. If you go back to one of my earlier videos detailing hot blast, cold blast, and dead flame lanterns, it is a cold blast. It has one gigantic air tube, and that's what this is right back here. It's used as reinforcing. It's reinforced to help give the lamp stability, but it's also one giant air tube. So believe me when I say that this thing is bright. On the back here you can see we have a small bail just for moving. We have a hook and a hole. You could mount these on the wall. They would definitely give you that option. They really were often put on the wall because they were so big they take up a lot of space. The 30s were usually put on tables, and but they did have the option to have these. And 30s would suffer the same problem as 60s. Even though these things were indoors, they took a lot of use and abuse, and they would commonly rot pretty badly around in these areas here. This thing is just in fantastic shape, being that it's so old. I know the paint doesn't look pretty, but in the lantern world, we prefer original over restored. If something is too far gone to be saved in an original state, we will restore it. If it is in a state where you can keep it original, keep it original. Do not destroy the originality. It will never be original again once you do that. I would never restore this. This is original paint. Yes, it's beat up. Yes, it's not, in the greatest shape. I mean, the crown is starting to peel a little bit. As you can see, it's starting to peel paint. Brass ring. But you know what? It's all original. Over here on the side, I'm going to get back to doing the lamp detail. Obviously you can see again there's a small dent right there. Pretty common to happen with these. They can get hit on the side. This metal's not that strong. I mean, I can really take and move it with my hand. It's very flimsy steel. Well, I wouldn't say flimsy, but it's not the strongest steel in the world. You have over here your fuel cap, which is hinged, and it has a cork insert up here to help seal it. I could probably use some new cork in here. Fuel tank is in fantastic shape. No rot in the fuel tank, which is rare. Usually those things will get holes in them. But, like I said again, I mean, I'll show the bottom here. Obviously, as you can see, the bottom's in good shape. It's nice and solid, no rot, no holes. I would definitely burn this thing too. It would be very, very cool to see this thing lit up. I'm pretty sure it is ridiculously bright. Here's too, in case you guys were curious, that globe lift in action with the globe in. It's kind of heavy with the globe in, but there's how you lift it up. You take and push in, and then the globe lift will slide back down. It either has up or down. There's no in between notch, no higher notch, anything like that. But holy cow, it is raining outside pretty good. Don't know if you can hear that. But the Dietz number 60s are pretty rare, especially too. A lot of people overprice these because they are very desirable. I got this one, I believe, at a very, very fair price. I really didn't have to do anything when I got this. This lamp had been stored indoors for at least 20 years. We actually found a receipt of purchase in this lamp that dated back to 1994 when it was bought. But the lamp, however, had been stored down in a basement, and the guy had said that at one point he used to have a humidifier down there, but it ran 24/7. So we had to quit using the humidifier, unfortunately. And when we got this lamp home, we got to look at it more further in detail. What we thought was just blistering of the paint actually happened to be this lamp was covered in mildew. Like back over here on the side, this was all like white. This was all white in here because it was covered in mildew and mold. So we literally just took and wiped the lantern off, and it brought so much life back into the paint, and that mildew will not continue to feed off of the paint, which is obviously good for the lantern too. Now it's stored in a nice dry environment where the humidifier is controlling the humidity, so it will not have any mildew problems probably ever again. Like I said, I'm exploring options on how to strip this black paint off the reflector. I would like to get it back to its original polished state. That would help the light be better focused and be brighter. It would just generally help the light output on this lantern quite a bit. So, but this is my second lamp. I have one other thing to show you, and then another thing I have to discuss briefly, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise because it's a very impressive surprise that I think is one that shouldn't be spoiled. So I want to go down and get the last piece, and I'll bring that up here and show it to you. It's a very, very, very rare one, and I'm probably sure that you will never see one in this good a shape ever again. Dietz number 60 and the next one, you'll probably never see one in this good shape. You can find one better than number 60s that's not restored, hats off to you. But this is a phenomenal example, and I'm pretty sure that the next lamp I show you you won't find a better one. There's some thunder and lightning for you. 1223 out.